Hey, I'm Kelly and I'm a family functional health and sleep coach. Today I want to share with you a little bit about a red blood cell marker that you will often see on a blood test and some of the other markers that usually come along with it. I want to share with you why it's so important, especially for your children's sleep. Now, red blood cells, or RBCs, are the cells that are in our blood that carry oxygen all around our body, from our lungs to our brain, to our muscles, to our organs, so that all of those parts of our body, so our whole body, can actually function properly and function optimally. When you receive your blood test back, there's often a bunch of other markers like hemoglobin, MCV, MCH, MCHC, and RDW, and this basically tells you about the size and the shape and the oxygen carrying capabilities of your red blood cells. It's basically a health examination for your red blood cells. So we want all of these markers to actually be optimal because it means that it allows our red blood cells to do their job properly, carrying oxygen to our brain, to our muscles, so that they actually work. When our red blood cells aren't optimal, we can get symptoms like brain fog, fatigue, dizziness, irritability, tiredness despite however much sleep you get. And it can even cause things like poor appetite and sleep struggles in children. And this is because when our red blood cells can't carry enough oxygen, we are hypoxic. We are slightly hypoxic. We are not getting oxygen to our brain, to our body, and our nervous system basically freaks out. And when we have a dysregulated nervous system, we get things like reduced appetite, anxious behavior, very stressed, tired and wired, always on the go. They may have trouble getting to sleep and staying asleep. Basically all of the things that you see in children that don't sleep well. So what does it mean? What does it mean to have optimal red blood cells? So when you get your test back from the doctor, there's often a range, an optimal range or a conventional range on your test. And basically, this is what 95% of the population's red blood cell markers are. It's not really any indication of health. It just tells us where most people fall. What we actually want to focus on is the functional ranges. And this is basically what science and research tells us is the optimal value for any particular marker that has the optimal health outcome. So the best health outcome based on a particular marker. Now, when we understand what goes into creating optimal red blood cells, we can use a combination of your symptoms and your blood test to personalize a lifestyle, diet, and nutrition guide that is going to support the optimal production of red blood cells at the root cause. Because it's not just about iron, which you may have heard. Everyone likes to look at iron and whether there's low iron, but there is so much more to it than that. There's things like other B vitamins, B6, B9, B12 are really important in red blood cell production. Copper, zinc, iodine, gut health. How are those nutrients getting from your food into your body? How much protein you're consuming to get enough iron and zinc and B12? Your diet in general, are you consuming enough? And existing stress levels, because this can also affect your mineral utilization as well as your gut health. So this is where a full body approach is needed. We need to look at everything to understand how things work together and what might be causing red blood cells to be produced in a suboptimal way. So I would like to show you what I've done for one of my mums in just 5 weeks when it comes to optimizing her red blood cells. Now, when she first came to me, families come to me for kids that don't sleep. But when you've not been sleeping for a really long period of time, you are not going to come out unscathed. That chronic stress is going to impact your health. And the easiest place to start to improve the entire situation is with you. Yes, it would be great to have amazing sleep, but we just have to support you so that you can facilitate those changes. If you don't have that energy, you're not going to be able to facilitate the changes in your kids. So this mum was really low in energy, lots of brain fog, lots of fatigue, just waking up tired no matter how much sleep she had. So she first had blood tests done at the end of February, and you can see her red blood cells were high, her hematocrit was high, her MCV was high, her MCHC was low, and her RDW was on the upper end of high, as well as her platelets were also high, and this is an indication of some inflammation going on. We implemented some lifestyle changes, and Mum took to it absolutely amazingly and has really stuck to it and really worked hard. We made some dietary changes as well, balancing the diet and including foods that would support different systems of her body that were not working optimally. And of course, we did use some supplements as well to address deficiencies. So you can see here her red blood cell has come down, Her hemoglobin has gone up. It was on the upper end of high and it has gone up, but this is likely just a marker of dehydration. Her hematocrit has come down into the optimal range. Her MCV has come down heaps and is almost in the optimal range. MCHC, it was also already in the optimal range, smack bang in the middle of the optimal range. That was MCH. MCHC, also optimal now. RDW, still optimal, and platelets have come down into that optimal range as well. Mum is experiencing so much more energy despite the fact that her sleep hasn't changed, because the quality of sleep that she is getting is now improved. So she's not as tired, she has more energy, less brain fog, more capacity to now work on implementing dietary, lifestyle, and nutritional changes for her child. And this is basically how we do things. We have to always start with the parents. We want to optimize how everything works in your body to give you the energy and give you the capacity to be able to function through life, to be able to be the parent and be there for your children in the way that you want to be. And this is why the program that I created, the Family Wellness Framework, is a full family approach. It is health optimization for the whole family, because everyone influences everyone. We can get to the root cause and understand the root cause, address the issue right where it's coming from, so that once you've addressed the issues, they don't come back. So understanding what's caused it in the first place, so you're not stuck in this cycle where you do a little bit, you get better for a bit, and then symptoms come back. So you go to a practitioner again and you do it all over again. We're addressing it at the root cause, getting those lifestyle and dietary changes in place so you have a long-lasting improvement to your health. And then it also helps to improve sleep for long-term, behavior, learning, everything, appetite. It literally touches on every single system of the body. This is how we do it. If you would like to know more about working with me and optimizing your family's health, come find me on Instagram, Sleep of Faith, shoot me a DM, and let's have a chat.